Happy day are we on? It's Tuesday after lunch. I apologize, I did not go live here in this group earlier today. I had stuff going on, needed to record a podcast, and so I apologize, and I'm here now. I want to talk about something kind of fun today and something a little bit different that I've mentioned many times on my Facebook page, but we've never really had a full conversation. And then I'm going to go get these nails done because hashtag need it, hashtag personal time. And so I apologize as I'm talking with my hands here, but I want to talk about the DISC personality profile. For those of you who don't know what that is, I don't even know why it's called that. Like, I'm trying to think of, I took, and Jason took, the DISC personality profile before we ever had kids, and our oldest is 15, and it was life-changing. And then when I started to implement some of the theology behind the DISC personality profile into my business, I saw really huge changes in the way people that I worked with related to me and the way I related to them. And so so I think everybody in the whole wide world should have to take this test, okay? And so we're going to talk about it. And I just want to get some ideas from you guys, if you have taken it, where you fall on the test, or maybe where you think you would fall, and we'll go from there, okay? Tammy Hulls, yes, I'm supposed to be working out right now. You just zip your lips, sister. I told Tammy on our coaching call today I'm going to be working out by 1. Be working out and be done with work by 1. I'm running late. And so, yes, I took off the workout top to put on business on top. But here, this because I love you guys, and I'm totally transparent all the time, okay? I don't have any time for games, right? Ready? Here we go. Workout pants on the bottom, business on top, all right? Because as soon as I get off here, I'm going to be putting that workout top right back on. So anyway, all right, let's talk about the DISC personality profile. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Jennifer Allwood. I teach women how to create a beautiful home and how to build their creative business. And I'm super, super passionate about seeing women find freedom in whatever it is that their heart desire is for, okay? And so part of freedom comes when we have a lot of self-awareness, my friends, and when we work a lot on personal growth. And you can't work on personal growth without having a lot of self-awareness. And so figuring out who the heck you are and whose the heck you are will change a lot for you. And I promise you that. Thank you guys for saying hello as you come on. I love that. And so grab a pen and paper if you are somebody freaky like me that likes to take notes, okay? So DISC personality profile. My husband and I took this test, which is free now on the internet. We paid for it at the time, but at least 15 years ago because it was before we had kids. And basically the DISC personality profile says this. Now listen, friends, I'm not an expert in this by any realm of the imagination, okay? I mean, like literally, I am loosely paraphrasing at best, and you're going to have to fill in the gaps and go look for more information. But basically the personality profile says that everybody falls into one of 4 main categories. There's a D-I-S and a C. It spells DISC like a CD disc, right? Or is that spelt with a K? I wonder why. Anyway, it's the DISC personality profile. You can find it now for free online. And basically what the test helps you figure out is where you fall into those 4 things, right? Which of those baskets you tend to generally fall into. There's of course not hard rules, and as most creative people, we don't like to be put into a box, okay? We tend to throw elbows when people try to label us. So it's a loose thing here, but it helps you to figure out kind of how you're wired, and therefore why you operate the way you do, maybe why you respond to certain things, why you do. It helps you to figure out gaps in your personal relationships, like, okay, that's why people like that tend to piss me off, because they're all that same kind of personality trait. Or why your mother-in-law rubs you wrong because she's completely opposite of you. It also helps you figure out where you need to hire people for, okay? And because most of the time when you're busy building a business, you don't want to hire the people who are the same personality type as you, because you don't need mini-me's, All right. If I needed another crazy hashtag hot mess creative, I could have found that and hired that. No, I needed somebody like a Vicky who could keep me straight. Okay. So hashtag Vicky for president. I say that all the time. And let's talk about the 4 personalities. Okay. So the D in the DISC profile, again, I should have probably brushed up on my knowledge of this before I'm talking to you guys, but you guys can Google. Okay. This is what Google is for. But the D is a more domineering type of personality, very similar to like a lion in the animal kingdom. Okay, so a high D personality a lot of times will end up running big organizations. A lot of presidents are, even though Vicky is going for president, a lot of people who are presidents or people in positions of power are high Ds. Okay, they're pretty demanding. They're big picture people. For people like me who are not a high D people can feel a little bristly. Do you know what I'm talking about? I'm raising a high D. My son Noah is a high D. High D people are a little rougher around the edges. People that are not high Ds can't understand why they can't just tone it down a little. Why you can't just soften your delivery. Okay, so think about some of the friends you have in your life, and don't say their name here for the love of God, because they'll see this and then they'll be like, what, you don't like me being a high D? And that's not what we're saying. Okay, God bless the high Ds of the world. We need you. Us high S's need you. But a high D is going to be someone that's very direct. So they're not sugarcoating the truth for you. Okay, they're going to give it to you like it is, and you can depend on these type of people to really be honest with you and faithful in terms of giving you the truth. However, if you're not a high D, it stings. It stings. Katie says after taking the test, it all made sense. Katie, you're a high D. I can totally see that, girlfriend. Totally. And so I think of a couple high D people. I can think of 3 in my world right off the bat. And for me being a high S, and we'll talk about the S in a minute, I have to sometimes prep myself before I can be in the presence of a high D. Honestly, because otherwise they tend to irritate me. And the reason they irritate me is because I want to say, why can't you be softer and nicer and what have you? Okay, and so I'm raising a high D. I'm also married to somebody. Most of the time you have a dominant personality trait and then the next one. My husband is an ID, so he has a lot of D in him. And so these are the type of people you want to say, slow your roll. Simmer down. But thank God we have them, because we need leaders. We need people that are very direct, who are used to getting results, okay? High D people sometimes we'll look at and we'll think they're arrogant. They're not arrogant, baby. They're in work mode. They're in work mode. You need somebody to run your company, hire a high D. Honestly. You need somebody to come in and get some crap done, hire a high D. They'll get some stuff done, but they're big picture people, okay? They're not tied up in the little tiny details, all right? Yes, they can Google it, and the test is for free in most places. Thank you guys for sharing this. I appreciate you. All right, the high I is party people, okay? This is what I'm married to. My husband is a high I, with the D being his second personality trait. But high I's in the animal world are similar to like a monkey. They're all about the fun. They're just jick-jacking around. They're just, life's a party and it's all about the people, okay? And so when you're married to a high I extrovert and you're a high S introvert, woo, Nelly, it gets fun. So high I's are people. They just want to be around people. This is why my husband is in a sales job. If he had to sit at a desk and do alone work all day long with this, he'd want to shoot himself in the foot. High I's are people. They are great at relationship building. They're great at sales types of positions because they're not at all intimidated by meeting new people. They are usually very good in social situations. They're the ones that you want to be a personality, a face for your business, if that's what you need. A high I would be probably good at social media because they're good at building relationships, and relationships are key, okay? They're not always big picture people though. And so let me think of some more high I qualities here. Let's see. I wrote down just a couple of words. You're party people. I wrote down my husband. I wrote that you're people, and you're similar to monkeys. What else? High I's are very inspirational. When I took my DISC profile test, it said that I was a high S followed by a high I in work environments. So sometimes you can't box yourself in so much to a test. Do you know what I mean? And there's times when you just kind of, can I just say it like it is? You have to pull up your big girl panties and do things because it's good for your business. Okay. And so going on and doing a Facebook Live is a high I activity. It is. It's a relationship builder, and it's a life's a party type of activity. And so while I'm mostly an S, I have to have I qualities at my job. True encouragers are high I's. People whose gifting is exhortation, a lot of times they're high I's. They're really all about people. And they're super fun to live with. They don't take themselves too seriously. What other great things can I say about a high I? I'm thinking of my husband. Since Mr. Magic's not here, I can talk about him. Because life's a party and they don't take things too seriously, sometimes you also want to do this. And wring their necks. No, I'm kidding. High I's are wonderful. You guys are fun, fascinating people who don't take things way too seriously because you love people. All right. So the S in the DISC personality. All right. The S in the DISC personality profile is me. The S's are more the sweet, stable, low on the drama. In the animal kingdom, they're more related to like a golden retriever. So they just really want people to like them. So if you find yourself being a people pleaser, a lot of times it's because you're a high S. You like life like this. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Who here would relate themselves to an S? I should have asked you if you thought you were a D and if you thought you were an I, but now I'm asking, who are my fellow S's? Who are my fellow S's? All right, we like things to be pretty controlled, not a whole lot of surprises. We like our finances to be like this, more than this. We're not into roller coasters, baby. We need this. Okay, we need this. Your S's are going to be the sweethearts of the world. They really are. They're going to be good friends. They're going to be dependable. They're going to be loyal. Their yes will be a yes. That should be a high S here. And so I have always said the S's are the sweethearts of the world. I relate really well to fellow S's because we just kind of get each other. None of us are trying to like be the high D of the group, if that makes sense. Now, the low side to that is that when you're a high S, you do tend to be a people pleaser. You do tend to sometimes not stick up for yourself. You tend to not have enough strong boundaries. And the way that this can affect your business is it can affect your business in the fact that people want refunds way past the refund policy date, and you feel like, gosh, I should bend the rules. People are asking, for their money back when you have a no money back guarantee clearly on your website. You know what I mean? It's stuff like that. People want to kind of push you, and because you're hyper focused on stability and sweet and wanting everybody to like me, like the golden retriever, you tend to let too much slide. Anybody know? Jamie, the statistics show that you have one that's dominant and a second one. Of course, I think everybody can be all of those. But more than likely, instead, Jamie, of you should have somebody listen to this and they'll tell you what you are. They'll tell you what you are. Because now I can peg fellow personalities a mile away. Our son Easton is our middle child. He's a high S. He's got a lot of his mother's tendencies. Sometimes he forsakes being right for peace, just like this. and while that is lovely, I mean, is it better to be right or righteous is what my pastor says, right? But sometimes you need the high D's of the world to take a stinking stand. And so S's are some of the sweetest people I know. Some of the sweetest people I know. But you've got to work really hard in your business to make sure that you're not being walked all over, to make sure that you're not being so sweet that you're missing things, to make sure that you're not wanting to be liked so much that your employees are taking advantage of you, to make sure that while you're not looking, people aren't drilling holes in your boat, as they say. High S's tend to miss some things like that because a lot of times they believe the very best about people. Hey, Jill Noble, are you a high S, Jill Noble? I bet you are, and that's why I love you so much. Jill's my favorite people on the whole face of the planet. So love my fellow high S's, but we all have gaps, and this is why we need each other, especially in business. Okay, so the high C in the DISC personality profile is, Jill, you're more of a D. You're more of a high D, I think, babe. But the C is somebody that's more cautious, more calculated. They don't really like a lot of risk. They're more, they're people that do repetitive actions for a living. So accounting, line workers, assembly things. They're the people that are so dependable. They will get stuff done. They're not people oriented, they're task oriented. So the high C's of the world are like otters. They're like workers. They're like the ones that you want on your team when you have a list a mile long and you need somebody to come in and get you situated. You need somebody to get you situated. You want to see. My guess is, and Vicki, if you're on here, speak up, but my guess is Vicki, my administrative assistant, is probably a high I and an S. She gets stuff done, but she's as sweet as the day is long. She's as sweet as the day is long. And so the C people are the ones you need filling your orders. They're the ones you need doing your paperwork. They're the ones you need doing your accounting. They're the ones that are going to keep you out of jail because they did your taxes right. Okay. Hannah says, what's Ava? She's a high I. She is her daddy's daughter. My gosh. The two of them just want to party, party, party. Noah wants to boss the family around, and Easton and I just want to sit down and chill. Do you know what I'm saying? We just want to chill and not talk to anybody. So, because we're the high S's. And so you've got to have some C's on your team. I think if you're looking at your business, my friends, that you would need somebody that's falls into each of those camps to make the perfect team. So when you're looking at, okay, I need somebody to take care of my social media, look at somebody that's a high I or a high S. Somebody that's a high D might offend some people. Okay, they might offend some people because they're a little more direct. And sometimes on social media, we need to fluff. We need some fluff. We need some sugar, baby. We're supposed to be the salt of the world, okay? We got to be tasty. When you're doing your social media stuff, the Bible actually talks about being the salt of the earth and being tasty to people. This is what helps you to grow a social media following. So a lot of times a high D can come off cold, can come off as all business, okay? It'd be better to have a high I who's a life's a party or a high S who's a sweetheart run your social media for you. But if you're needing somebody to come in and figure out why your business is not making money, baby, don't be hiring an S, because they're not going to ask the right questions to the right people. An S is going to be, kind of footing around the issues. How many of you know what I'm talking about? All right, I'm an S. And so we have a harder time asking the tough questions and putting the hard things into place in our business, because at the end of the day, we just want to be likable and we just want people to like us. We just want people to like us. And so let me think of what other things that you could look for in your business and what you could hire for. If you're needing someone who is if you're needing like somebody that does brand management for you, you would want a high I. You'd want somebody that is really good with people, really good in reaching out to them and makes you sound like a stinking rock star. Hey, Daydreamer Cottage, you're my favorite today. Thank you so much for sharing my video. And so when you guys are looking at team building, look at those things. Now, the other thing I want you to do is I want you to look inside of your home to the person you're married to and to the people you're raising. And it will help you to understand that, oh, this is why this kiddo seems a little bristly. Probably a high D. Gonna have to teach him how to soften his delivery if he wants people to like him. Gonna have to teach him that running over people isn't how to get things done in the world. Gonna have to teach him that you catch more bees with honey. And a lot of those skills we develop, as we grow up, but I've got all ends of the spectrum in my children, because Noah is a high D, he's very dominant. Ava is life's a party and she just wants to hang from the chandeliers. So for those types of kids, you need to teach them boundaries and without killing that very thing that God put in them, because whatever Ava has that the Lord wants her to do in this lifetime, she needs to be a high I for it. The point of this is not to get any of you to think that you need to change the way God created you. Whatever your destiny is here on this earth, whatever God has commanded for you to do, He has put in you exactly what you need to do it. And so it's not okay for you to say, That, well, because I'm a high C, I can't yada, 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 yada. No, 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 because we're grown-ups and we do, while it's important to recognize how we are and where our weaknesses and strengths are, it's also important that we work on those things. And so Ava wants to dangle from the chandeliers, but what I have to talk to Ava about is things like boundaries. Sometimes high I's can feel like too much for people. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Because they're passionate about everything. From the day Ava was born, I have said, that girl has the world by the tail, and I mean that. She is a high I, life's a party, here to have fun, down the roller coasters. 2 years old, she is bluff diving in Branson, Missouri, off of a cliff that just made me want to vomit even looking at it. This is a high I. So we need to raise them to not squash that stuff, but to understand consequences, to understand, regard for other people around them and how living that kind of a wild life affects them, etc. And our third kiddo being a high S, I have to work with him on standing up for himself. Being the one that says, you know what, this isn't okay. Being the one that takes a stand when they see something going on that is not acceptable. Being the one who puts what God wants for his life over people being pleased with him. Because those are the things that high S's tend to struggle with when they're kiddos. Popularity matters this much. Integrity, way up there. Okay? And so I hope that that's helpful. Let me see what some of your questions are. Oh, thank you guys for all putting links on here. And you know what I think I'm going to talk about tomorrow? If this sounds fun for you guys, tell me. Danielle, I think your DISC personality profile can change. I'm going to be ballsy and say that. I think that while I used to be an SI, I'm guessing if I took it today, I would be more of an IS, because I think sometimes life situations change us a little bit, and I also think we grow, and I also think that things in us get tweaked and things, and so I would guess the answer to that is yes, but I am not an expert in this area. Jamie, I think you're fabulous. Yes, Doris, you can have a different profile at work versus home, because I'm an S at home and an I at work. Yes, you catch more bees with honey. Leanne says when you hit 40, a lot changes. Absolutely. There is something magical that happens when you hit 40. And you start thinking to yourself, okay, I'm halfway through with this rigmarole. Like, I'm almost halfway through life here on earth. I'm almost halfway through. What the heck have I done? What kind of a stamp am I going to leave on the world? What kind of a impression am I going to leave with the people around me? How have I affected my family? In the right ways? Not? Where are my gaps? At 40, you start to look at all sorts of things differently, and that will change some things for you. Kelly says, can you come talk to your oldest daughter? You want to make her take the test, but it's a struggle. Do it as a fun thing. Do it as a fun thing. You know what? I've got a kiddo that tends to be abrasive, Kelly. You know what? People that rule corporations, that run things, that have a big platform ahead of them, that are going to be in charge, they usually start out as kids that are a little much and abrasive. I firmly believe that. And I think that where we sometimes as parents go wrong is that we try to alleviate that. And the truth is we just need to help them steer it. Okay, and the high Ds of the world, thank God for the high Ds. Thank God that there are people that are direct and will get stinking results in the world, in the country, in business, online, what have you. Thank goodness for them. And so our job is not to change them. Our job is to help steer them. And so I get it. I have a high D that we're raising. And at times I'm like, oh, I'm going to kick your butt single-handedly if you don't soften that voice. And then I get my scary mom voice on. Let's see. Hang on. Thank you, Leanne, for sharing this. All right, what else? Naomi says she took the test and she got that you were all around even. They said it's rare but good. Naomi, go buy you a lottery ticket, sister girl. Oh, so what was I going to talk about tomorrow? If you guys want me to, I will talk about love languages tomorrow, which is another topic that I love, and how you can use love languages in both your family and your business to see really good results. It's interesting, once you tend to figure out people, And again, we're not trying to label them, put them in a box, change who they are. But once you figure out what drives them and intricately how God made them, or intrinsically how God made them, then sometimes you can quit fighting against them so much. And you can just be like, okay, she's a high D. I get it. The reason her text sounded really super snotty is because she's a high D. And she doesn't fluff a lot of stuff. You know, I feel like I'm constantly like, LOL and yada yada, and trying to soften things when my high D friends are just like, yes. And I'm like, whew, yes, okay. That was really short and direct, but I understand my high S friends. Does that make sense? I think we all need each other so desperately. Thank goodness I have high D friends who are painfully honest with me. Painfully honest. So I appreciate you guys. What else here am I missing? I know I just missed a bunch of stuff and I'm so sorry. Oh, you all want me to do love languages. Okay. Yay. That would be a great topic for tomorrow. Leslie Fear says, you sent my extrovert versus introvert to many of your friends. It's not even funny. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. I actually just shared my introvert podcast on my Facebook page right before I came live here, because sometimes I think we tend to want to label ourselves because it makes us feeling secure in why we're not doing something. And so sometimes I have found in my coaching group that people will want to say, well, I can't take the next step in my business. I can't go live on Facebook. I can't get myself out there. I can't talk to people because I'm an introvert and I want to call BS on that. Okay, just because you are something doesn't mean that you still can't work within it and get outside of your comfort zone and learn how to push yourself in ways that are still going to help you to grow. So, all right. Bless you guys. I think you're all amazing. Thank you for being here. You've watched my introvert one a few times. Jamie Parker, how do you get my podcast? Okay, if you've got your cell phone handy when we're done, there's a free podcast app on your cell phone. So just go to your app store, look at the podcast app, and search for The Jennifer Allwood Show. I know that name is just incredibly just creative. I get it. I get it. You can't even believe that's what I would name it. Like, we struggled with the name, so finally we're just like, The Jennifer Allwood Show. And so look up The Jennifer Allwood Show. You'll see it there. Or go to my website, themagicbrushinc.com, and you will see a podcast tab at the top. So, yeah. My podcast guest from last week is Lucy Farmer, who came runner-up on the Beach Flip show on HGTV a couple years ago. It was awesome. And my podcast guest for tomorrow is Juliana Zobrist. And if you don't know who she is, you are missing out. She is an incredible artist. She's a singer. She has sung she has sang at the Breakfast of Prayer, is that what it's called, in Washington, D.C. with the last two presidents. And her husband is Ben Zobrist, who plays for the Chicago Cubs, used to play for the Kansas City Royals, was MVP when the Royals won the World Series last year. So she is my podcast guest tomorrow. And oh, I'm glad you liked my podcast with Jen Hatmaker. Thank you. I'm actually sending Jen a gift today for being on my podcast. And she's either going to love me or hate me, because I got her two things and I told her, you know how when you're like going to a baby shower for a friend and you're like, do I go practical or do I go posh? Do I go practical with the diapers or posh with an outfit that's just way over the top? And so I couldn't decide what to buy Jen as a gift, and so I bought her both. I went practical and I went posh, and I'm super excited for her to get it. So, all right, bless you guys. I think you're amazing. I appreciate you being here, and I'll be here again with you guys tomorrow. Bless you.